Brunei Darussalam is a country that has various numbers of ethnicities. However, there is only 7 ethnicities or pure types of Malays that are recognized as Negara Brunei Darussalam's Malay citizens. In this episode, we will take you to a wedding specifically in the Tutong district, which will highlight a special wedding tradition that is practiced by those in the Tutong district or anyone of Tutong descent. This wedding tradition is called the Adat Buburi Pu'o, or also known as the Berbasuh Kaki. So, stay tuned with us.
Assalamualaikum. You're back on I Am Brunei with us today. So Ajiba was telling us how different it is with Tudong wedding ceremony. And so today she has brought us to
Kampung Penanjung, where we will be interviewing Cikgu Haji Ramli, where he will tell us a little bit more about this special Tutong tradition. Tutong wedding is like any other wedding, except the fact that we have one thing that makes it different from any other weddings, and that is called the
Buburi Pu'o, right? And that translates as Berbasuh Kaki.
So this, what we know as of now is that this Berbasuh Kaki or Buburi Pu'o is practiced by those of the Tutong origin, or anyone that actually comes from the Tutong district.
That's right. So we're gonna head inside and have an interview with Cikgu Haji Ramli to know more about the Tutong wedding. So follow us inside. Right now we're inside Cikgu Haji Ramli's house and we're about to interview him, and as you can see he's wearing a very unique clothes which is a Tutong traditional attire, and it's called what is it called again, Kajiba?
Telok Belanga.
And also on his head he's wearing tengkulok.
In this interview, we decided to have a talk with Cikgu Haji Ramli bin Tunggal, someone of the Tutong ethnicity that could be found in Brunei Darussalam. He shared with us about the Tutong's way of holding a wedding, highlighting on the Adat Berbasuh Kaki in terms of its legend and practice.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Saya Haji Ramli bin Tunggal, seorang daripada etnik Tutong, di mana salah satu etnik yang berada di negara Brunei Darussalam. Puak Tutong mempunyai adat berbasuh kaki atau adat perkahwinannya, dan berlainan dengan ada perbezaan sedikit mengenai dengan etnik perkahwinan etnik yang lain. Adat berbasuh kaki dalam Puak Tutong disempurnakan setelah adat bersanding di pelamin, kemudian kedua pengantin dibawa ke tanah, ke bawah dan menjejakkan kaki sedikit di tanah, kemudian didudukkan balik di kursi ataupun di pelamin, di mana ketika itu kaki perempuan dan kaki laki-laki bertindih antara satu dengan lain di atas batu asa dan parang. Di mana ketika itu air bersih yang berada di dalam bekas seperti yang disebut ipang, kemudian adat ini disempurnakan oleh pihak lelaki ataupun keluarga lelaki. Tapi keluarga perempuan tidak juga dilarang ataupun malah digalakkan kedua pihak pengantin melakukan adat ini. Batu asa dan parang ini melambangkan tempat ataupun punca rezeki, punca usaha atau rezeki dalam usaha bercucuk tanam dan sebagainya. Jadi pada mula-mulanya ibu bapa laki-laki membasuh kaki pengantin. Ibu bapa ini kedua-duanya membasuh, kemudian memberikan hadiah. Hadiah yang diberikan kepada kedua pengantin ialah berupa uang ringgit, barang-barang kekal, barang kemas dan seumpamanya. Jadi barang-barang ini adalah sebagai hadiah kepada kedua pengantin. Kemudian apabila kedua pengantin itu selesai berbasuh kaki, maka uang ataupun benda-benda yang pembasuh itu tadi dibilang. Pertama sekali uang itu dihitung berapa banyaknya, kemudian disebarkan ataupun diberitahu kepada kedua keluarga. Misalnya ada yang sampai 2.000, ada yang sampai 3.000. Ada yang sekarang ini ada juga keluarga yang besar itu cukup dengan perkakas alat-alat rumah. Konsepnya ialah menolong kedua pengantin ini. Dalam perkahwinan orang Tutong itu ada pantang 40 hari. Pantang 40 hari ini kedua pengantin itu tidak boleh mencari rezeki keluar daripada kawasan rumah, jauh daripada kawasan rumah. Apatah lagi kalau dulu masuk ke hutan, pergi ke laut untuk mencari nafkah sebagainya. Jadi ini dilarang dalam 40 hari. Jadi untuk 40 hari itu kedua pengantin berada di dalam kawasan rumah saja. Dalam kawasan rumah saja 40 hari, tidak boleh berjalan jauh untuk mencari rezeki. Tapi zaman sekarang ini pantang ini sudah tidak dipakai lagi kerana orang sekarang ini bekerja untuk menolong kepada kedua pengantin itu untuk menampung perbelanjaan semasa berpantang 40 hari itu. Mengapa pantang 40 hari? Ini adalah timbul daripada satu misteri cerita atau kisah yang berlaku dalam masyarakat itu sendiri, masyarakat Tutong itu sendiri. Ini berlaku di kampung Pancur Papan. Dulunya kampung Pancur Papan itu ialah satu kumpulan orang Tutong ramai di situ, di mana mereka ini tinggal di tepi sungai, macam kampung air, di perairan Tutong. Jadi salah seorang pemimpin orang Tutong dulu bergelar Bendahari Badar. Jadi anaknya ni kahwin. Bila anaknya ni kahwin, dalam mandi mandi selepas kahwin. Jadi tiba-tiba mandi di telaga, bukan mandi di sungai. Di telaga itu jauh ke darat lagi. Jadi semasa mandi itu, kedua pengantin ini mandi sama-sama. Tapi bagaimana masa waktu yang waktu itu tiba-tiba perempuan ini hilang, lenyap, tidak kemana perginya, tidak tahu. Tetapi bagaimanapun mereka cari, jadi ada tapak harimau di situ. Ada tapak harimau. Dan mereka ikutilah tapak harimau itu masuk ke dalam gua. Berminggu-minggu lamanya mereka mencari dukun yang lebih pandai, yang berani untuk masuk ke dalam gua untuk membunuh harimau itu. Mereka sangka memang perempuan ini dilarikan oleh harimau itu. Jadi akhirnya mereka dapatlah seorang daripada orang Bumo yang gagah, yang berani. Bumo ini daripada Labuan mereka dapati. Jadi Bumo ini memberi syarat supaya mencari anjing, 7 buah kampung. Setiap buah kampung itu seekor anjing. Jadi anjing-anjing itu diberi makan di pintu gua. Jadi mendengar bunyi anjing-anjing ini berkelahi antara satu dengan lain, harimau itu pun keluar. Apabila harimau itu melompat, terus dipancung oleh Leo Kebol ini, terus putuslah kepala harimau itu. Jadi apabila harimau telah mati, mereka pun masuk ke dalam, jauh ke dalam sebenarnya dalam gua itu, dan tiba satu tempat seolah-olah satu kawasan, satu bilik pengantin. Ada tempat tidur di situ, tapi diperbuat daripada kayu. Ada tempat tidur seolah-olah pengantin, tempat pengantin. Jadi andaian kita ni bahawa perempuan itu dijadikannya sebagai isteri harimau ini. Sebenarnya harimau ini harimau jadian, jadi dapatlah perempuan ini, tapi sayangnya perempuan ini sudah ada sedikit bulu, tumbuh bulu, dan ia bercakap pun sudah kelu, tidak boleh bercakap langsung, tidak boleh apa. Dan lagi keadaan dia pun, sikap dia tu bukan lagi seolah-olah sikap manusia. Jadi dia melihat orang di keliling ini seolah-olah bukan lagi keluarganya. Dibawa keluar dan sayangnya dibawa balik 3 hari selepas itu. Ada orang mengatakan 7 hari selepas itu, dan dia pun meninggal. Jadi bapa budak ini tadi, seorang pemimpin orang Tutong, menyatakan bahawa jangan, katanya, anak orang selepas kita kahwin, kamu kahwin, katanya, keturunan saya orang-orang Tutong, bila selepas kahwin mestilah jangan keluar jauh daripada rumah, jangan pisang berbuah 2 kali. Kerana itulah dia pantangnya 40 hari. Jadi sebagai masyarakat yang taat kepada pemimpin, jadi masyarakat Tutong pun mempraktikanlah pantang itu tadi, jangan dilanggar. Jadi di sebalik pantang itu tadi, maka berlakulah, katanya, kita ni bagikanlah mereka ini hadiah basuh kaki mereka ini.
After an overwhelming storytelling session from Cikgu Ramli about its legend, we became more curious about this wedding tradition, and coincidentally, we were fortunate enough that we got invited to a Tutong wedding that following Sunday.
You are now watching Inside.
So we just arrived at the groom's place, and
That's right. So before the Buri Po'o ceremony, this wedding is just like any other weddings in Brunei.
Yep. They still have the berjarum-jarum, also known as nerisik. They have the bertenang, they have the akad nikah, they have the manghatar berian, the gifts.
Yeah.
And they also have the adat berinai and malam berbedak. And lastly, we are here today at the bersanding ceremony. Right?
Yep, but however, you gotta bear in mind that not all Brunei weddings tradition and customs are the same. It all depends on the Brunei's, the family's choices or the family's roots,
The
right?
origins, yeah.
Yeah, like today is the Buburi Pu'o for the Tutong family.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
what else is different?
Oh, yeah.
Or any identity about the
In
Brunei
Brunei
wedding?
weddings, the seating arrangements is
Separated.
separated.
Okay.
The males sit at one place and the females sit
Oh,
at
yeah,
another
yeah,
spot.
that's right. And I think we should
We
go
should get
inside
going.
before we're too late for
Yeah.
the salam-salaman, right? Yeah. Okay.
Let's
we
go.
should. Come with us.
So this is where the female invited guests will be seated.
Yes.
And there's so many people here.
Yeah, and I hope we get seats because this is where we'll be sitting.
Yep. So shall we get going?
Shall
We
get going?
should reserve our seat.
Let's reserve seats.
Adat is a set of rules that have been practiced from one generation to another in a society. Sometimes it can turn into rules that need to be conformed to. The term adat originated from the Arabic language, which means the usual. The arrival of Islam in the Malay world takes this concept to a broader meaning and in-depth that encompasses the entire way of life. It is now defined as a culture of a society, a ritual, and all habits that are often made, such as how to eat or how to sit. Adat includes the set of local and traditional laws and dispute resolution systems by which society was regulated. In older Malay language, adat refers to the customary laws, the unwritten traditional code regulating social, political, and economical, as well as maritime laws. The Malay wedding has a lot of adat istiadat, customs and traditions that are practiced or held during weddings in Brunei Darussalam may be different depending on the family roots and their ancestors or the pengangon.
Okay, so right now you are witnessing the doa prayers or reciting of the prayer before the guests can enjoy the food and beverages that are being served today.
Yep. And after they enjoy themselves with the food and drinks that are being served, their way to the bride's house.
Just like any other weddings, the parents of the groom as well as few of the members of the family would go around the provided camps and shake hands with the guests. This is the time when the head of the family and other representatives of the bride or groom, in this case it's the groom, get the opportunity to thank guests for coming, and it's also when guests get to congratulate family members too.
So we're now at the men's seating area.
Where there is a junjung tiara going on, where the dad and the rest of the family members are doing the handshaking and thanking the guests for coming.
Yep. And in return, the groom will be congratulated by the invited guests for his marriage, like just behind us right now.
Once the invited guests have enjoyed the food served, the groom's side of family get the opportunity to go all together towards the bride's house. In Brunei, buses are usually rented to bring these guests over to the bride's side of the house.
Hey guys, we are now on our way to the bride's house. Any idea where that's gonna be?
Well,
I'm
all
not
I know, all we know is it's gonna be in Kampong Rambai. Not sure how far it is from this place, but we'll see. We'll find out.
Okay. I hope it won't take too long
I
because
hope not.
I'm getting sleepy.
How long is it gonna take for us to get there? Any idea?
I'm not sure, but we'll find out.
We'll find out because I think this is our first time going. there.
Yeah,
This is our
it's
first
our
time. First time as
Definitely.
well.
Yeah.
I don't know Tutong really.
You guys see the bus back there? It's like just behind us.
We're actually at the Pekan Tutong area, so it's just nearby somewhere there. So.
Oh, okay. So it shouldn't be far from now.
The journey took us 30 minutes. Along the way, there were houses of all sorts, modern, contemporary, and traditional.
What a journey, guys.
Yeah, it was a bumpy road.
Yep.
So anyway, we're now here at the bride's house and
We are here at Kampung Rambai. So after this, the groom and the family will be greeted and welcomed by the bride's family. And then afterwards, they will be sitting at the wedding stage. And then the fun begins, which is the Buburi Pu'o ceremony.
so stay tuned.
The groom's journey to the bride's house is accompanied by invited guests, families and friends, the Hadrah group, sprinkles of bunga rampai, as well as the 4 big candles. Upon arrival, he is shaded with an umbrella where he is then asked to make 3 rounds of circles called the Pusing Naga. Before seated for the matrimonial ceremony, he is asked to place one of his hands on top of the bride's forehead, left and right shoulders to break the wudu. The groom enters the house in which the bride will already be waiting for him at the wedding stage, or also known as the pelamin.
Hey guys, so right now we are witnessing the Buri Pu'o ceremony, which is the washing of the feet.
Yeah, and despite the weather, the family spirit are still hyped to celebrate this blissful occasion.
And after this, we will be experiencing it as well. So we're excited.
Yeah, so come with us and follow us washing their feet.
Adat basuh kaki, or buri pu'o in the Tutong language, is where one of the bride's foot will be sprinkled with water. The bride will put her right foot on a batu pengasah, with the groom's right foot placed on top of her foot that was placed on the batu pengasah earlier on. The groom's family will commence the adat basuh kaki first, and then the family of the brides right after. Anyone washing or sprinkles the feet of the bride and groom with water will give them money or jewelries as gifts to the newlyweds. However, these gifts are received by an old folk that acts as a representative of these newlyweds by using his songkok to keep the money that are given as gifts.
Malar menyaksikan pasal every function balah mama, pasal balah mama orang tutong kan. Adat atau grand tiada pasal time kakak aku kahwin pun semualah ada cuci kaki tu. Dah pandai ni lah, tinggal pasal bini kami sendiri pun cakap kalau boleh jangan dihilangkan adat itu.
Okay. Sama juga macam Asif macam dia punya kakak kahwin. We bagai cousin pun ada juga basuh kaki, and then orang belah tutong, macam cousin sebelah tutong ada basuh kaki juga.
Bagi kami adat ni penting pulang pasal ya tutong saja kan, rugi juga kalau tidak dibuat adatannya.
Dia walaupun dia untuk orang tutong tapi untuk menunjukkan ini ada istiadat di negara Brunei Darussalam.
Rasanya di adat-adat yang kita dipraktikkan di Brunei ini ada adat-adat yang tidak dipraktikkan, terutama sekali adat-adat yang bertentangan dengan agama. Adat-adat yang tidak bertentangan itu diteruskan juga, seperti adat perkawinan itu basuh kaki ini masih dilakukan, terutama sekali di daerah Tutong lah. Itu terutamanya puak Tutong dan puak dusun.
Adat-adat yang terdapat di Brunei masih lagi dipraktikkan dan diamalkan bagi masyarakat Melayu Brunei. Seperti contoh adat basuh kaki. Semasa berlangsungnya perkahwinan, adat ini diadakan terutama bagi puak Tutong. Seperti contoh sebelah pengantin lelaki orang Tutong, maka adanya adat basuh kaki. Ianya perlu dipertahankan supaya adat ini tidak hilang atau pupus.
Kalau artinya yang adat-adat yang diperhatikan oleh nenek moyang kita ni tu, yang terutama sekali yang dah bertentangan dengan agama lah, bertentangan agama ataupun boleh boleh diteruskan, tapi rasanya masa ni masih juga dilakukan. Kalau adat ni macam apa ni tidak diteruskan, rasanya macam satu kehilangan bagi satu puak itu. Itu melambangkan identiti puak itu. Itu satu daripada info-info yang boleh ditengahkan lah, terutama sekali yang di daerah-daerah lain ataupun bahkan ini boleh kita sebarkan ke luar negara, terutama sekali pada pelancong. Itu adat-adat ini mungkin mereka ada mempunyai adat-adat yang kita lakukan di Brunei ini.
Social media juga dapat membantu untuk mendedahkan adat-adat seperti adat basuh kaki. Contohnya melalui laman sosial seperti memuat turunkan gambar-gambar melalui Facebook, Instagram, video, share video, YouTube.
Yeah, so customs and traditions are actually synonymous with one another, even though they may sound different and they have different meanings, but their contexts are dependent on one another.
So as individuals, we have to strive to protect our culture, our traditions, and as well as our customs from being extinct.
Yeah. So
What else? Do you want to get married after this?
maybe in a few years' time I will.
I'm not really sure about that.
I'm Ajiba.
I'm Akila.
And I'm Bibi. Assalamualaikum.
Bye.
Bye.